In this example, we are going to calculate not only the average waiting time and average turnaround time, but also we are going to calculate average response time. For that, I have considered the first come first serve algorithm. A slight different thing is there in this example because the preliminary base of FCFS is not present here. We require the arrival time of each process for the calculation of FCFS. But in this example, we don't know the arrival time of each process. So then what do we do now? What arrival time we need to consider? Since we don't know the arrival time of each process, we need to consider the arrival time of each process should be 0. Okay? And the order of the arrival will be same as it is given in the example. We can't change the order, right? We cannot take the P2 first, then P1 next, then after that P3, or later on a P5 or something like that. We cannot change the order. The sequence will remain as it is in the Gantt chart because we are assuming that P1 has arrived first, then P2 has arrived, then P3, then P4 and P5. So here in this Gantt chart, I have calculated the start time and the finish time. With the same order, I have calculated the start time and the finish time for each process. So in this case, you can see I have prepared a separate table to show the start time and the finish time of each process. So with the given the burst time, I have calculated the start time and the finish time of each process, right? So now see here how to calculate the waiting time. The waiting time would be same, that is start time minus arrival time. So we don't know the arrival time of each process, so of course we have to consider 0 0 everywhere. So just deduct the 0 0 from the given start time of each process right here. So the start time for P1 is 0, finish time is 5, start time of P2 is 5 and the finish time is 29, and so on for P3, P4 and P5, right? So now let us go further. Just add these numbers, whatever the value that we have received. So 0 plus 5 plus 29 plus 45 and 55, because we have just deducted 0 0, the arrival times. So we got the total, that is 134. Divide the 134 by 5 because the number of processes are 5. So we got the value, that is 26.8 milliseconds. Now what is a slight difference over here? As I said that the calculation of the response time. Here we are going to consider the same formula which we have considered to calculate the waiting time. That is a start time minus arrival time. This is the same formula. It is applicable for the response time, to calculate the response time. So here we don't have to think much. Arrival time is already given, that is 0 0. Start time also we have determined through the Gantt chart. So just deduct the 0 0 everywhere and we will get the same value of the response time, that is 26.8 millisecond. Now the last calculation is remaining, that is calculation of turnaround time. So turnaround time equal to finish time minus arrival time. So through the Gantt chart we have seen what is the finish time for each process. See here, finish time for P1, P2, P3, P4 and the P5. So same finish time I have considered here. Just do the total as it is, 5 plus 29, 45, 55 and 58. And now we got the total, that is 192, then whole divided by 5. So we got a value, that is the average turnaround time is 38.4 milliseconds. So I hope this example must have clear to you how to calculate the response time besides the turnaround time and the waiting time. through FCFS. So same you can calculate for SGF also and for other algorithm.